quarterfinals are here of the World Cup.
They're finally here. It's gone by so fast, yet so slow.
Yeah.
So fast. I don't know.
My dad even asked me, he goes, now that the United States are out, are you still going to watch? I go, Dad! I said, of course. Because, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today a little bit. You know, United States being out of the competition. Because I think we have some good old-fashioned kind of smack talk a little bit.
Who doesn't love good old-fashioned trash talk?
Even though I don't think this is truly trash talk, because I think truly trash talk is like people getting over the top. What we're going to talk about today, I don't think is over the top at all. It's just very mild stuff. Very mild stuff. I'm thinking this video is going to go out just about the time, maybe a little bit after the Netherlands play Spain tonight. I'm actually not quite sure. Then another video after that game is over, because I know right now, Sarah, you have picked Netherlands to win this game.
Yes, but after doing this video, because of the trash talk, I now go with Spain.
You're joking.
No, I'm just joking.
But that's kind of what we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about one of the Netherlands players who ended up talking about the United States. And, you know, I want to talk about it because I think there's different aspects about this. You know what I mean? And I wanted to talk about Netherlands are playing tonight. They are playing Spain, and one of their high-profile players, her name is Beerensteyn, and she's one of their goal scorers. She's great. She got injured and couldn't play in one of the games. She is a very talented player. And, you know, during the World Cup, there's a lot of press conferences. So they had a press conference, and I believe, I have not seen the question be asked, but I believe, and to be honest, I'm not even worried if she was asked this question or not, but I believe that's kind of like the sequence of events when she was asked a question, she gave an answer. So we're going to read a little bit from this article, and see what she said.
Netherlands star Lineth Beerensteyn delighted by big mouth U.S. elimination from the Women's World Cup. Netherlands star Lineth Beerensteyn says she was delighted by the U.S.'s early elimination from the Women's World Cup following Sunday's penalty shootout defeat to Sweden. The U.S. beat the Netherlands 2-0 in the final 4 years ago to win a second successive title, but that was halted in its quest for an unprecedented three-peat by the Swedes in the round of 16. The first moment when I heard that they were out, I was just thinking, yes, bye. Beerensteyn told reporters ahead of the Netherlands quarterfinal match against Spain. Because from the start of this tournament, they had already a really big mouth. They were talking already about the final and stuff. I was just thinking, you first have to show it on the pitch before you are talking. I'm not being rude in that way, Beerensteyn added. I mean, I still have a lot of respect for them, but now they are out of the tournament. For them, it's a thing that they have to take with them in the future. Don't start to talk about something that's far away. I hope they will learn from that.
Okay, so those were the statements that are kind of causing ripples in the media and with fans. I like when a player is saying something. I don't think she said anything truly disrespectful. I really don't.
Right.
You know, she said nothing personal. And I'm sure she's speaking for a lot of different people, not just her personally. Hey, people think Americans have kind of that attitude or that kind of
a big head.
Big
ego.
Big ego. They've earned the big ego, but sometimes it's not the most.
Yeah.
Some people think Americans, although they have walked the walk for so long, that, you know, it's not, when you kind of come in, like she said, already talking about getting far along in the competition when you haven't even done anything yet.
Is it trash talky? It's sort of like I'm going to put them in their place, kind of low-key.
Or I'm not afraid to say it, what I'm kind of thinking, because that's how I was thinking, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, Netherlands and U.S. are rivals. You know, U.S. beat Netherlands in the 2019 World Cup.
Yeah.
You know, they beat them again. The Olympics, remember that game? The Olympics, that was a wild game. United States ended up winning that game. They beat them at a friendly, and you know, Netherlands are like, you know, I know you've beaten us a lot, but that doesn't mean you're gonna come here and go to the finals. I think after the 2019 World Cup, it was kind of like the U.S. said, you know, the whole, you know, we deserve it thing, which they did because they won. And I think a lot of people thought after all the media storm and everything, they thought they were being arrogant. And then I think what happened was, after they did it, they accomplished it. I think the media kind of took that and ran with it. Like, I think the media was already saying they're going to win, you know, and I think it was a lot coming from the media, not just from the players. You know, I think the media made this kind of storm like, oh, they're going to win. They won last time. EA Sports said they're going to win. There's no reason not to win. I think a lot of it is the media kind of promoting this kind of arrogance.
Yeah, I agree. Just like stories in the media, twist. They put a twist on things, so they twist words and stuff. It could sort of be like that.
But also, she also said, I respect them. And, you respect it. And I believe her. It seemed very sincere. I respect them. They've done a lot. But, hey, just because you've won a lot, A, doesn't mean you're going to win always. And B, your performances haven't been stellar the last couple of years. So I don't think she said anything out of pocket. I don't think she said anything. I don't think she just said anything disrespectful, which is crazy.
Wild.
Which is crazy because the most disrespectful things are actually coming from the Americans to the Americans. Those are the most.
Yeah, Donald Trump. Did anyone see what he had to say?
But also, I almost take that like in America, it's almost like you're my sister, I'm your brother. We can talk about Americans badly, but
That's
anyone
true.
else talk about Americans. No, you can't talk Americans. But this situation is different because I'm reading around the web. A lot of people who just don't like Megan Rapinoe or the U.S. national team are like, Beerensteyn's my favorite player now. I love Beerensteyn. Even Americans, because they don't like, a lot of people do not like the U.S. women's national team. And then also, one of the reasons why they were successful in their fight for equal pay is because the people had to be loud about it. They had to be so-called arrogant about it. They had to say, we deserve this. Because, so if it wasn't for that kind of loudmouth mentality, there would not be equal pay. And I've also read comments saying that it's because of the U.S.'s fight for their equal pay. It has helped countries around the world with their fight because the United States was kind of the loudest. Because they were the most notable team, they were the loudest, and it helped other countries. Also, we do remember this. Remember last year at the Euros, Mark Parsons was their coach. And remember the comments Jill Roord said? She basically said, Mark Parsons, he's kind of different from us. He keeps talking. I kind of tune out what he's saying half the time. Even though that was totally a joke, she was totally joking when she said that. And that was to her own coach.
Yeah, I just think these are opinions. And, I mean, you're allowed to have your opinions.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. So we have that. I personally think it's just, her speaking her opinion. She didn't say anything personal. I'm sure Pino or anyone on the team would be like, okay, no problem. So Netherlands plays Spain tonight. So Netherlands versus Spain. And, there is someone on the U.S. national team who went through the same exact situation very recently, which I think is kind of ironic. They're playing each other, Spain versus Netherlands. So one of our favorites, Kristie Mewis, she actually had some words about Spain. I'm just doing a quick voiceover because I didn't set up this story as well as I thought I did when I was recording the video. But Kristie was on Kelley's podcast. She had a long interview, and one of the question was, in the World Cup, what team are you looking forward to playing? So that was the question that led up to Kristie's answers. So that's kind of a little setup where this came from.
Kristie Mewis participated in a video podcast starring Kelley O'Hara. She expressed ideas that could be described as arrogant. I want to play against Spain because in the autumn we lost. I want to crush their dreams. That would be great, Kristie Mewis said confidently to her teammate. Kelley O'Hara gasped and shook her head at the words of one of her apprentices. The culprits of these words from Mewis were Leila Codina and Esther Gonzalez, who scored the 2 goals of the Spanish victory. The New Jersey-New York Gotham player would love to face Spain. Irene Paredes about these statements did not bite her tongue. They have been public statements by certain national team players. I understand that, like them, there will be others. They see that if we suffer or stay out, the way is paved for them. It is totally normal and natural to think so. We focus on what is ours, on doing what is good for us, that it goes well, and that ours is talking and doing what it wants or can, the center concluded.
Yeah, I mean, we'll start with that. I mean, Irene hears that and says, I think it's translated, but the suffering, our suffering means other people's glory or, and I think she just says, we got to focus on what we can do. We have to be a strong team. We can win. We can't really focus on what other teams are saying because we can't worry about what other people are saying.
Exactly, because there's always going to be other people saying stuff,
Maybe she's even saying they can focus on them, we'll focus on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll start with that. So that was interesting. Irene said that. But then also going on, a lot of people took those words of Kristie and a lot of the Spanish fans and, you know, Spanish media were not happy with those words. They thought she was arrogant and rude, and to say I want to crush your dreams, that was a little over the top to say. And I feel like it's a similar situation with what Beerensteyn said. He said, yeah. I'm happy they're out because they were this. Kristie said, she could have just said, I want to play Spain because they beat it. Because what she said in the clip is because they beat us last fall and I want to get back. You know, we didn't play our best and I want to get back. Some would say she didn't need to add the I want to crush their dreams. To me, you can't, I guess in my head, if I say what Kristie says is okay, I have to say what Beerensteyn says is okay. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I do. She just wanted redemption for the team, you know? She wanted them to redeem themselves, which unfortunately they cannot do anymore because they're out. But I mean, I get it. I get what she was saying, and I get what Beerensteyn was saying, you know?
Nothing seems personal.
Sports. Yeah.
Nothing seems personal. You know, I think...
I mean, she didn't say that she was going for Codina and Gonzalez specifically.
Yeah, no.
That would be a personal attack. I'm coming for you, too.
Exactly. You know? I thought it was a very non-hostile, questions and answers. You know, I want to smash their dreams as it's kind of just over the top, but
it was kind of just like fun, like just she's speaking to one of her good friends,
exactly
on a podcast.
And then I saw this on Twitter, but I couldn't figure out what else was going on. Somebody said that on Twitter, and I don't know what this means, but Kristie's like an enemy of the Spanish government now.
Is she on a freaking watch list somewhere? Kristie, you better not go to Spain.
I read that. And I go, the government? Why are you on the watch list? Or why is the government? I don't know if it was just like a translated situation that when it wasn't translated the best. But if you go to Kristie's Instagram, you will see a lot of Spanish flags in the comment section. So if anyone is wondering why there is Spanish flags. And then if you go into Beerensteyn's comments, you see Americans going in there and say, you're talking trash about my American team. I used to be a fan. I'm not a fan of yours anymore. And I think that's where you can get a little bit of the gray area when the fans get involved, because when it's one athlete to one athlete, they need to settle it if there's an issue. However, sometimes when fans get involved, when it's like people who there's not a lot of consequences for saying what you're going to say, that's when I think you have to be careful. But as the athletes, I don't think what Beerensteyn said was wrong, and I don't think what Kristie said was wrong. It was all in, we want to win. We're fighters. Yeah. We want to go out there and we want to win. Everyone wants to win. That's the thing.
It's the world of sports. It's the world of op-eds. I don't know, opinion pieces.
Yeah, totally. Although I do think what they said was different, I think the idea is still the same, just kind of speaking about how they're feeling, how they were feeling at that moment. What does everyone think? Obviously, the game tonight against Netherlands versus Spain, I still think Spain's going to pull it out. I'm not sure what time this video is going to go out. But also, there was an update on Lauren James, because yesterday we put out the video saying that there was not an official word on how many games she would be suspended for. A lot of people thought it was going to be 3, but the word just came out today that it's going to be 2. Oh, okay. So that means she cannot play in the quarter and she can't play in the semifinal if they make it. However, if they do make it to the finals, England, she will be eligible to play.
Okay, that's wild.
Yeah. So we will see if that happens. So that is a little update. What does everyone think? Like I said, I think that you can cross the line sometimes with these kind of statements, but no one in this situation did, But let us know down below if you disagree, because a lot of times people write comments and it's something I hadn't thought about. I'm like, oh, that's a really good point. But if you disagree with our statement that it's okay and that they're similar, because some people might say what Kristie said was way worse than what Beerensteyn said. But yeah, a lot of times people will say things and I'll be like, yeah, that's a really good point. So let us know down below. Yeah. And at the end of the day, everyone wants to win fair and square, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great day.
Bye.